Hi everyone, just thought I'd make a quick video. I'm just on my way to work in one of my gems, as it were, and I thought to myself I should probably make a video about it. So this is just going to be a little introduction to one of my cars, and I'll make a proper video later down the line with some outside shots, and we'll have an explore around it. But this is my 2001 Volkswagen Caddy, and it's a Mk2, and they're getting quite rare now, and I've had it about 3 years, so I'm guessing it does qualify for gem status, and it's been really good. It's been a really good car, actually, or van should I say. Done a fair bit to it, and the story behind it is I bought it because I'm actually qualified to do electrical work. But I have a full-time job as well, which I'm on my way to now, which is in healthcare. And I bought this to use as a little electrician's van, and I kitted it all out in the back with all the kit and bits and pieces. And in my current job, I got a promotion, and I had to devote a lot of time to it. So I didn't actually have the time to do electrical work, so I did it for about 3 months. And then I had to put it on hold because lots of things changed in my life. So I kept the van. I got rid of all the tools out the back. They're in my shed now. But I kept the van, and I've been using it for the last 3 years, and it's just been a fantastic little run around, and I've really enjoyed it. I've done a few things to it, like I've said, and these are getting quite rare now. They were built between 1995 and 2004, I believe. And they're based on the Volkswagen Polo sort of Seat Ibiza platform. They actually look like a Polo at the front, although that is slightly dubious because the Caddy is actually slightly wider at the front. So things like bumpers and stuff for Polos don't fit them, as I've found out in the past. So they're quite a good looking van. They're very much in the sort of same style as Vauxhall Combo or the Ford Courier, which was a Fiesta based van. With a high cube back that makes them quite practical. So I thought, like I said, I thought I'd make this video because I probably won't have this for much longer. I think I'm only going to keep it another few months and then probably move it on. So I thought before I get rid of it, I'll make a few videos on it, and we'll just have an explore, because it is quite an interesting little vehicle. They came in 3 engine flavours, although really only 2 ever made the market. They did a 1.6 petrol engine, which is super rare, and you won't really see any of those on the UK market unless it's the Combi version, which was a version that had windows in the back and were adapted for wheelchairs, etc. And then there were 2 diesel engines, 1.9 litre, both of them. One was called the SDI and the other one was called the TDI. TDI is obviously turbocharged, the SDI is not, and they both provide pretty much the same fuel consumption figures. So the only difference is price and performance, and I think a lot of employers probably bought the SDI to try and keep the speed down for people, you know, couriers and stuff using them, because they're not a fast vehicle. The TDIs go pretty well, but the SDIs are not a fast vehicle. So my one is an SDI, 60 brake horsepower, and 0 to 60 must be around the 20-second mark. I've never actually bothered looking it up. And top speed must be, I reckon you could probably get 100 miles an hour out of one if you work the hell out of it, but to be honest with you, I've never really taken it much over 70 because it's just happy cruising along at 60 miles an hour. You get incredible fuel consumption from these, at least 50 mpg if you take it easy. Unless obviously they're laden with stuff, and I think the carrying capacity is reasonably good on them as well, because it's quite a torquey little engine. Hasn't got a lot of power, but it's got a fair bit of torque, and it pulls really well and clips along nicely. And it's got lovely direct steering. It feels like a car to drive. The brakes are good, they're nice and responsive, and it's just really enjoyable driving a car with very little performance. You have to work it quite hard, and just tidy little handling and very little performance. It's really good fun to hustle it along and try and maintain speed, and I can't stress that enough to people these days who become obsessed with performance and horsepower. It really doesn't make a great deal of difference on the roads, and actually working this thing hard, so my camera's moved, as you can tell, you can probably hear it working hard up this hill I'm driving up. It's just a lot of fun, and I've really enjoyed hustling it along over the last 3 years. It's been ultra reliable. The only thing I've had to do engine wise is it's got a bit of an oil leak on the engine out of the oil cooler, and I'll show you that in another video. I put a new seal on about a year ago and it started to leak again, so I think it needs a new cooler. I think the cooler's damaged in some way, and I had to put a starter motor on it. Actually, it did let me down once where the starter motor failed, but I just rolled it down the hill and off it went with a bump start, and I bought a second-hand starter motor for 30 quid, which was only about 3 months old, and fitted it, and it's been fine ever since. Oh, we got some wheel spin there. It's a wet road, so there's no power. Other than that, it's been utterly reliable and fantastic. I've done a few oil changes on it. The engine probably does need a bit of tidying up really, and a bit of care, but it's done 151,000 miles and it still drives great. It really does. I can see why people buy Volkswagen vans. I don't care what anyone says about VW reliability, and there'll be people who say in the comments that VWs are rubbish, you should buy a Vauxhall, you should buy a Ford. This is proof. Apart from a bit of rust on these, which finished a lot of them off on the back end, they are really tough, reliable little vehicles, and this one's a testament. 151,000 miles. It's never been loved, it's never been cared for, and it just wants to drive. Every time you get in it, it'll start and it'll say, "What are we doing today?" You know, it's like a little faithful little dog that says, "What are we doing today?" You know, "What are we doing today?" So I really like it for that. This one's got a little bit of rust on the back end coming in on the rear arches, and someone's had a go at painting them in the past, and it's come through again. And I have done a bit of welding on it for the MOT a couple of years back, but it's been fine ever since, and it only cost me a couple £100 to weld it up. I don't do welding, I haven't got a welder, so that was paying someone. If you had a welder, it would cost you nothing. Other than that, it's been a really good car, or van, sorry, and I'll be sad to see it go. Done a bit to the interior, you can't see it here. We've got some new seats, and we've got you know, bits of interior trim and stuff that have been re-upholstered, and I bulked out the back here. You can probably see this wood behind me, and that quiets it down. It makes it much more car-like to drive, which is really good. So I'll do a few videos before I get rid of it, and who knows, maybe someone will see it on the video and want it. That could be discussed at the time, I guess, but it'd be nice to see it before it goes, because I'll move on and get something different eventually, and I can't really justify keep running it, although it's very economic. I have to tax it every month, and I have to put fuel in it, I have to insure it, so it's costing me money, and I don't really need it. So I think it is going to have to go. I'm going to do a couple of jobs before I get rid of it. I think it needs some new rear brake shoes, so we're going to stick a few of them, you know, do a video on that, maybe changing the brakes and stuff. And I'll give it a tidy up and a clean and stuff, and then we'll see what it looks like. But yeah, thanks for watching again. Join the Facebook group. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, and podcasts coming your way very soon with me and Jono on it, so make sure you grab that as well. The Facebook group's free, and like I said, if you want to join it you can. If you don't, fine. Thanks for watching, and if you want to subscribe to our channel on here, we are going to try and push this now and try and get a few more videos on. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon with a proper video on this thing. We'll have a proper look around, so see you again soon.